The last promise I made to my dying father took 15 years to keep, but it changed my daughter's life forever. The final promise I made to my father involved a locked box he kept hidden for 30 years. When I finally revealed its contents to my daughter on her 16th birthday, it exposed a family secret that transformed her understanding of herself, Perrin, and fulfilled a legacy my father never got to see. Dad was diagnosed with terminal cancer 3 months before my daughter Daisy turned 1. As his condition deteriorated, he became increasingly fixated on a metal locked box he'd kept in his closet for as long as I could remember, and of us had ever seen inside it, and Mom always referred to it as your father's private business. During what would be our final conversation, Dad motioned me closer to his hospital bed. His voice was barely audible when he said, "The box key is taped under my workbench. In Christmas you'll give it to Tashius when she turns 16, not before. Don't tell your mother, Parent, she wouldn't understand." I nodded, confused, but unwilling to question a dying man's request. Dad died the next morning after the funeral. I retrieved the key exactly where he'd said it would be. The temptation to open the box immediately was overwhelming, but a promise is a promise. I relocated it to my own home, tucking it away in our attic. Mom never asked about it, and over time I almost forgot it existed. My marriage ended when Tezix was 7. We relocated twice for my job. Through it all, the mysterious box moved with us untouched but never forgotten. As Hazaz's 16th birthday approached, I found myself increasingly anxious about what I might be revealing to my daughter. On the morning of her birthday, after her friends had left the celebration, I brought down the dusty box and explained my promise to her grandfather. Tazit had only the faintest memories of him, Saturn, just impressions of being held in strong arms and the smell of pipe tobacco. "Whatever's in here, your grandfather wanted you to have it when you turned 16, I explained, handing her the key. I've never looked inside with trembling fingers. Tazix unlocked the box. Implied, we found several bundled letters in faded blue envelopes, old photographs of a young woman who resembled my father, and a leather journal. At the bottom lay a smaller box containing an antique silver locket and a bank book showing a trust fund established in Dad's name, Perrin, now worth over $380,000. But it was the journal that revealed everything. My father, the stoic, recurrent accountant who never discussed emotions, had been writing to a daughter he never knew he had, Parent, my half-sister Pert, who had been placed for adoption before he met my mother. He'd spent decades searching for this daughter, hiring private investigators and following countless leads. The letters were his unsent correspondence to her. The photographs were from the adoption agency. His journal documented how he'd finally located her just as his cancer diagnosis came, Pert, only to discover she had died in a car accident 3 years earlier, leaving behind a 1-year-old daughter of her own. That baby was Tevist Pertel, biologically my niece, not my daughter. The final journal entry read, "I found my granddaughter too late to know her, but not too late to provide for her future. My daughter-in-law's pregnancy loss last year was devastating, but perhaps this child is meant to be theirs. I pray they'll forgive me for keeping this secret." In that moment, 15 years after his death, I finally understood. After my wife's miscarriage, my father had secretly arranged Tanish's adoption, presenting her to us as a private adoption opportunity through a business associate. He'd carried the truth to his grave, leaving only this box to reveal it when Tatus was old enough to reveal it, when Tatish was old enough to understand. Maya rubbed an eye, laughing as we discovered the extraordinary lengths my father had gone to ensure his granddaughter would be raised within the family she never knew she had. Sometimes, the most important promises take years to fulfill, Pernt, and the most precious gifts come in dusty metal boxes that fathers leave behind.